Today, I want to share with you the #1 mistake that I see long-term investors make when it comes to dealing with their tenants. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Lewis, real estate investor and entrepreneur with over 10 years experience building and growing a real estate team and investing in real estate. Before we jump into today's video, make sure that you hit that like button, leave a comment below, and be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. I'm here to help you break out of the 9 to 5, gain financial freedom, and grow wealth through real estate. Let's dive in. The #1 mistake made by long-term real estate investors is not raising your rent on your tenants. I am here to break that down for you on why I want to shift your mindset and help you get it right. Investors are scared to raise rent, and I see it all the time put them in bad situations. I like my tenants. They're not my friends though. I've got a business to run, and like I said, I'm here to help you grow your wealth in real estate and gain financial freedom. You can't do that by operating this on charity or by feelings. You can't do that in any business, right? Just being kind at your job doesn't make you money. You have to be good at your job, operate in your role, and be kind with it. So I always say work hard, be kind, but when it comes to this, you need to raise your rent. And today we're gonna break down exactly why you need to do it, get your mindset straight. #1 reason why you need to raise your rent is simply just to keep up with inflation. The cost of doing business goes up every single year. Our nation's average is typically about 3% a year. Let's throw out the post-COVID years of rapid inflation growth, but you should be raising just at a minimum to keep up with that. The reality is your AC repair is going to be more expensive 5 years from today. Your maintenance and general plumbing, general contracting work is going to be more expensive 5 years from now, and you need to prepare for that. So don't be stuck in the here and now and, oh, I don't need more money now. But when those repairs come up, when those things come up, you will greatly appreciate the fact that you have been raising that rent. And you should be raising it here also because it increases your cash flow. Again, you are operating a business, not a charity. There are certainly times where I open up homes to people that need them and work with their scenario, but for the most part, this is a business. I'm here to make money, create wealth, gain financial freedom, set my family up well, and if I just operate as a nice guy, giving out good deals to people, I can't get there. So raise your rent to keep up with inflation and to continue to grow that cash flow every single year. Reason #2, you need to raise your rents to be more liquid in your rental properties. This is not something that I find that most investors are even aware of or even thinking of, because I take phone calls from investors all the time that want to sell their properties. They go, you know what? The market's great, the prices are up, I am ready to cash out and sell, or hey, my circumstances have changed, I just want to cash out and do something else with my money. If you have not raised your rents and you have a rental agreement with a tenant, you are not liquid, because now you've got a rental agreement that a new buyer has to honor. So you're looking for another real estate investor to come in, take over that contract, because they can't kick your tenants out if they are already under contract. And if you're not raising that rent and it is not a current market rent, you've now got to face an investor and tell them they're actually going to lose money because they're going to buy the property at a higher price than you are, right? So they're going to buy it for a higher price than you did, which means they need more rents to make their cash flow scenario work. So if you've been a nice guy for the last 10 years and you've kept your rent at $1,500 a month and you just didn't want to lose those tenants, and now all of a sudden the market rent is actually $2,500 a month, and you decide I need to sell because I need to liquidate these assets, you've got to convince another real estate investor to come in and possibly be losing $1,000 a month on your investment until that tenant's agreement expires. Now, it's not as big of a deal if there's maybe 1 or 2 months left on that rental agreement, but if they just freshly signed that and there's 12 months, that is a hard sell, and it's actually going to impact the price that you can sell that home for. You're likely going to have to credit the buyer so that they can take that loss and not feel as bad about it. So if you raise your rents, it keeps you more liquid. It makes you have a more sellable portfolio if you need to tap into those things. And that is very, very important. My last piece of advice here is don't be scared to lose a tenant. You cannot operate in that mindset. That is a scarcity mindset. The reality is you have affordable housing, you have created affordable housing, and there's always somebody looking for affordable housing. So don't be scared to lose that tenant if you raise the rent. It is great if you can just be upfront and honest with them coming into it that, hey, I'm going to raise the rent at least 3% every year so that they know to expect it and it's not such an offense to them when they all of a sudden get that notice in the mail that their rent has gone up. So be honest with them, but don't be scared that if they decide, hey, they need to move on, the reality is, if you're raising to market rents, they're not gonna be faced with better options elsewhere. Just because you raised the rent on them does not mean that they're gonna go find a better deal somewhere else. The reality is the market is going to bear what you're offering if you're just keeping up with those market rents and raising an average of 3% every year. So the reality is you likely won't lose those tenants if you're raising on just that 3% a year average. If you go beyond that, you may. But don't be scared to lose them. Even if they do decide to go somewhere else, there's always going to be somebody looking for a home, and you will always be able to get a tenant into that property. Now, if you're asking way too much, then it may sit vacant for some time, but if you're keeping with market rents, and that's all we're looking for here. I'm not asking you to raise your rents 20%, 10%. Obviously, you have to follow your state's laws and regulations for what you're doing, but keep it in line, keep it reasonable. I always factor in, for me personally, 3% every single year. My tenants don't move out because of that. They already know every single year they can expect that letter to come in the mail that says it's going up 3%, and they're not scared of it. So don't be afraid to lose those tenants. Run it like a business, increase your rents. I hope today's video has encouraged you to be consistent with those rent increases. Again, operate it like a business. Don't feel bad about doing it. You're not doing a disservice to the community by increasing those rents because your mortgage has stayed the same. You have to prepare for those expenses that will come up, those repairs that you're going to have to make down the road. It's a business, and a business that works on a slim profit margin is set for failure. And so you need to increase that profit margin every single year to make sure that you're set up for success in the future so you can continue to create affordable housing for people to live in. So thanks for watching. As always, leave a comment below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. I am here to help you break out of the 9 to 5, gain financial freedom, and grow wealth through real estate. We'll see you next time.